I'm cringing already thinking about it because I know that like where it is now and what we put out, it's just a total different genre. And
Welcome to my garage for my very first vlog.
I made this video 3 years and 2 months ago, and it's a bit of a blast from the past. It's pretty much what kicked off the whole channel. I remember at the time my mate Jeff convinced me to do 4 weeks of just post a video every day. Like where it is now and what we put out, it's just a total different genre, and it's a total different approach and style. It was about video 50 where it morphed to building, and the first 50 videos were more about like me and life and running and being a dad, and like if building was here, the videos were here and they were so far apart. And then I remember day one on the section Nobody Wanted was like the two things collided, and then we've never looked back from there, and we doubled down on making building videos. It's been really fun, and it's become a legitimate part of our business. Let's watch it anyway. Man, flashbacks to Victoria Street, the Reno. That was the house that we just talked about in that last video. So many takes to get the key and the walking and the shot. I'm pretty sure this was all shot on my iPhone as well. So I was like walking around with the iPhone trying to do everything and still make it work. I think that's a great example of like, just start with what you've got as well. If you've got an idea, just work out a way to make it happen. I remember laying in bed and thinking about like, the scenes started playing out in my mind, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this. But I also remember feeling this huge level of frustration between this epic story that I was building up in my head and what was being filmed. It was kind of like the two weren't correlating. No music. I think yeah, there's no music at all in this one, eh? So you might even tell from the way that I've tried to introduce it. It's watched 500 vlogs of Casey Neistat and was just hooked. I was just like, I love his style, I love his approach, I love how it's raw and it's like real, and I just really wanted to capture that for me as well.
Welcome to my garage for my very first vlog. You get to watch me get better and better at this.
We should go through my old phone and find the takes for that, because there's literally like 50 takes. I felt so robotic. The crazy thing is, at the time I was still good at public speaking. I could talk in front of a group of people, I could talk to staff, could talk to clients. As soon as you put a camera in front of me though, I was like, ooh, and I like froze. And I think it's so different now. Like I'm just like, yo, we're on site, this is what we're doing. And it starts with that. It starts with like being super average. I'm not saying I'm awesome right now, but I'm saying when I look at who I was then and I look at this now, I am so different. Yeah, it's so funny. Like even the people from my news were like, man, you're a natural on camera.
You're a natural. I'll take the idea.
Thanks. I wasn't a natural. I was very stifled, very robotic, and it's taken a long time to get comfortable on camera.
This one video has taken 50 attempts so far, but let's give it a crack anyway. So why are we in the garage? You've heard the story about businesses start out small in a garage, grow the company, move on to bigger and better things.
The other thing to point out is I just finished up my partnership at Kiwi Homes and wasn't sure what I was going to do next. And then I had the epiphany of like, why am I trying to work that out? Why am I spending so much energy trying to work out what to do next? Why don't I just stop and take a break and start doing a few things, not for profit, but just for fun? And that's essentially what happened with the YouTube channel, and time with the kids, did some traveling, and that all came out of this as well. I knew that I wanted to be in business. Rather than like forcing the answer to come to me, I kind of just sat and wait. And then that's when we got the section Nobody Wanted. And then I threw myself into that 110%. And then out of that started the business.
Well, that's my hopes and dreams too. And we will use this to talk about it along the way. Here's a few things about me. Josh from New Zealand.
My original handle was Josh from NZ, joshfrom.nz. And that's what I was on Insta. And that's what I was. I had a blog. And that was my YouTube handle. It was too broad. Like, I'm just a dude from New Zealand. Like, what's exciting about that? Like, niche down and work out like I'm a builder in New Zealand.
Love business, family, fun, adventure, and more importantly, working out how to combine all of that. Let's see how this goes.
So funny. Still trying to like set the scene, tell a story, had like a script in my mind, but threading that into daily life. And I think people thought that was pretty random as well. Some people were like hooked on day one. I remember when I did this, I like put it up and I got 100 subscribers. And the first probably 20 videos would only get 100 views, but those 100 people would be like, man, I'm loving it. So cool, so real, so raw. And that kind of like initial burst of like feedback gave me the energy to keep making stuff.
So here's the thing though, I don't actually know what I'm going to do. I know that I want to be in business. I've got a few ideas, but I haven't pinned it down on one thing just yet.
I think the other thing here is that I was lacking the confidence to back myself to go all in my own building company. Even when I'm sitting at that table there, I had that desire in me to run the company, and I knew what I wanted to do and I knew how I wanted to do it. I knew that I wanted to build houses, but I wanted to bring more of the hospitality service experience that I'd had to the building business. And I knew that when I was with my other company, that was missing, that we weren't focusing on the clients enough. And I wanted building to be this fun, epic experience because it is a once in a lifetime thing. I knew all of that, but I was lacking the confidence to back myself to do that. And so I think it was a time of wrestling with that idea and letting that kind of come to life. And doing the section nobody wanted and the videos was a great way of nurturing that idea and then slowly taking a risk on it. I think that's also important. We think sometimes when people go into business, they go all in on day one and it's crystal clear and they know exactly what they want and how it's going to do. But you can see here, you know, I'm wrestling with like the idea and the lack of confidence and not sure if it's needed in the marketplace and all of those things. Yeah.
About 8 years ago, we bought a restaurant. It was about to close its doors. We fixed it up, turned it around, ran it for a while, and then sold it. We did pretty well in the process. About 3 years ago, I joined partnered up with a local building company and helped take that company from doing 5 houses a year to 45 houses a year. And in April, I just got out of that. So right now, I'm just been tying up loose ends with that.
Levi must have been like 3 years.
So I've been chatting with some friends about this feeling torn and what I should do. They've been encouraging me to take a break.
Thinking back at the time, I really wrestled with like, you know, I was a qualified builder, but all my business experience had kind of been in the restaurant world. And then it's like, who am I to think that I can learn how to run a business in the restaurant world and then apply that to a building company? What I believe about business principles is that whether it's a plumber or a builder or a restaurant or a retail shop, there's some timeless principles about like communication and service and management that kind of stretch across all of those, and you can learn those principles here and you can apply them here and here and here. But I look back now 3 years ago and I think like I'm so glad that I took a risk and I'm so glad that I took a punt on myself. We've built a bunch of houses since then. We've built a business. We've got a team of people working for us. I kind of think, what would 34-year-old Josh think about all of that now, knowing that that had unfolded? And I think it's really exciting to think, where will we be in another 3 years if we just keep on this trajectory of and taking risks and backing ourselves and following up on those ideas, you know, those little quiet ideas that you have in your mind about like, if we just did this, or we started doing it that way, or I think this could be better. If we slowed down and we listened to those voices and we put the effort in to do that, imagine how much further we could be in another couple of years. I'm really excited about that.
To take some time out before I rush into the next big business venture. I've decided there's some wisdom in that and I'm going to take them up on it. I'm going to take the rest of the year off, not from doing nothing, but I'm going to focus on projects and things that interest me and not necessarily driven by profit, making money, sales either.
I think a lot of people also struggled with like, oh, you're building a house, that's not a year off. But what I always kind of push back on is like, I'm building a house for me. And I'm doing it on my terms and my time, and I don't believe that taking a break means not doing anything. I mean, I think taking a break means stopping doing things for other people all the time. And yeah, you're still gonna have to put food on the table, you're still gonna have to live, you're still going to have to pay the bills. But it's putting it in perspective rather than trying to rush off and start this business and make all the money in the world and do that all for other people. It's like, do something for yourself. Like, if that was my last year on earth, I would have been so happy with what I did and what I achieved in that year.
I got some pretty cool ideas lined up, lots to fill you in on, but we'll take that one step at a time.
Ooh, great ending. Where's the boom, Sam?
Just got the burn.
Yeah, no boom, just the burn. Like, I had the idea to do videos and do building videos like 5 years ago, and for some reason I just didn't back myself. I didn't have the confidence. I thought it was a silly idea, or people will make fun of me, or they'll find it weird. And some people did, and some people have mocked it. And I think, like, stuff you, pretty much. Like, to all the people out there that have mocked it, like, I think we've done so much, and it's been so much fun, and we've done so well from it. And I just think there's so much more that we can do with it. But I think about, first and foremost, how much I've learned in the process, how much I've enjoyed it, how much my boys love it. Like, I love going home and sitting on the couch and watching a video with my boys. And I think, if at the end of the day, they're the only two people that are my biggest fans, then what else can you really ask for in life? So we're up to like over 200 videos, and we're still going strong. We've got some big plans actually for the next year or two, and we want to double down on some of this content we're creating. We're really enjoying it. I hope you're really enjoying it. Keep watching.